Guys, Kirk from Time Machine Transport. Just got done voting early. Mr. Clyde waiting in the truck for Daddy. What's going on, Clyde? What's going on? Right turn, Clyde. Anyways, Clyde, who you voting for? Trump? Oh, what? Right on. So I was thinking about beautiful day here in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The system here in Kenosha for voting, super great. I mean, I don't know how other states work obviously, but with Kenosha, Wisconsin, it's my first time ever early voting, or voting early, whatever you want to say. But it's a pretty clean system. It's like, you just walk through. And I had to do a change of address, so that took about maybe 2 minutes ish, 5 minutes maybe at the top. So I was literally out of here like 20 minutes, which was nice. And there's enough cars here in the parking lot. So I was listening to Kamala Harris videos this morning on YouTube, of course. That's what I do. And they keep harping on this whole Donald Trump, he's going to force women to, keep their babies and all this stuff. And they say 1 out of 4 people that oppose, or not oppose, but agree with abortion, that 1 out of 4 people live in a non-abortion state, I guess. So, 25%? Okay. I mean, my opinion, there's different circumstances. I don't know. I think so. I used to think like I would go to hell for taking somebody's life, right? And if it's unprovoked or not out of self-defense, like you're just a serial killer, right? And you're just out clipping people left and right, yeah, I think you should go to hell for that. But if you're in the military, law enforcement, defending yourself, whatever the case is, or actually defending somebody else that's being essayed, because you can't say that on this platform, which is actual assault. So I don't even know if the algorithms will allow this, but so anyways, so people say like God will forgive you if you're in the military or police department, you know what I'm saying, like whatever the case is, right? But if you're gangbanger on gangbanger and you're just out for a turf war, whatever, that you can't. What you doing, Bubba? That's not forgivable. Now, that's just what I've been told, that if it is something of the the better nature, I guess, then whatever. So if there's a different I guess a different outlook on that, I guess. I don't know if that's what the word I'm looking for, but if there's a different justification, I guess, for doing that. So if a woman was RAPED'd, right, and if she, I guess if she, and I'm not a woman, so I'm just kind of putting something out there, like, okay, could you live with the pregnancy and then, give the baby up for adoption? I mean, what kind of trauma would be for the woman to go through that, like every single day seeing this baby grow inside you, right? And being so sad, right? I mean, living with that every single day. It's still not right, I guess, but if it happened to my wife, God forbid, as her husband and as a man, I don't know how I would choose one or the other, right? So it's very difficult to say what other people are thinking and feeling, right? However, So they want to keep harping Kamala Harris, and pretty much anything on the left, right? They want to harp on Trump with the whole, Wade versus Roe thing, whatever, and Donald Trump literally saying, well, it's up to each individual state, right? So now they want to keep harping on that because that's pretty much all they have, right? They can't do the immigration thing. They can't do the economy thing. They can't do the support. They have to harp on the one and only thing that they actually can bring up by saying, well, you should have the decision. You should have the right to do whatever you want with your body, whatever the case is. And I agree. I do agree to that. However, there's the however. You want to sit there and harp on that, but if you people remember who and what administration, and I know with Trump, he actually initiated the whole, thing in your arm and wearing the masks or whatever the case is. You're damned if you do and damned if you don't, right? But when they found out that the COVID thing was just a money grab for, big pharma and politicians and all this other stuff, businesses being put out or businesses being put out of businesses, people losing their jobs, whatever the people, maybe if you died from COVID or whatever, maybe that's whatever. But my point being is they want to harp on this your body, your choice thing. But if you remember, it did start on Trump's watch. I'm not going to deny that, which I'm still not cool with him, basically with Birx and Fauci and everything on national television every single night and this and that. Okay, we already know that, right? So I'm still not happy with him on that. And I don't believe that Trump is our savior. I don't believe that, he's the cure-all, right? But he's the best he's the less of the two evils. But if you look at his stats, economy was better. Yeah, the country's always going, well, don't say always, right, Jason Gilbert? But the country, for the most part, has been divided for, a centuries maybe. Been divided all this time. But America's not the only place. Over in Europe, division, right? Or anywhere, you're going to have separation, right? And why can't we just put unite back into United States? Why can't we put unite back into United States? My therapist at the VA, Dawn Bailey, wanted me to say that one time because I was saying it in my group meeting that, that's what they need to do. And I remember when my wife, during that whole thing in your arm and the thing you wear over your face, how they were they wouldn't, her hospital that she worked for wouldn't acknowledge or recognize her religious exemption. So they told her, you have to quit along with a bunch of other nurses. And we were out there protesting. And one of my signs that I made was put unite back in United States. So why the only thing they can harp on is this, your body, your choice thing, right? But if you remember, if you're saying that, if you remember this administration, this current administration, and why nobody's even, talking about this as a retort on, well, you might want to get all booty sore over the your body, your choice thing of Roe versus Wade, whatever the case is. You want to harp on that. You truly want to harp on that. However, you fail to look at the administration that basically made the military get it, medical workers get it. This administration backed getting that thing in your arm. 100% they backed it. And people are like, for the majority of people that we know and that I've actually heard and read about, the majority of the people were like, yeah, well, they did force us. We didn't get it. My wife didn't get it. My mother-in-law and father-in-law, they didn't get it. Some of our family and friends got it. Whatever, man. You do you, player, right? You do you. That is your right, your body, your choice, right? However, this administration is going to harp on Trump, making, the getting rid of the baby thing illegal. But yet and they're going to harp on that. Well, he's not going to let you have your body, your choice. Well, what did you do? What did this administration do? This administration did the exact same thing with the thing in your arm and the things over our face, right? They said nope, and they backed it. They encouraged it. They were basically straight out saying, well, if you don't wear that thing on your face or you don't get that thing in your arm or whatever the case is, look at my little buddy there. He's like, yeah, Daddy, I know. So he's like, Daddy's off on a rant. So when I heard that this morning about her talking about, well, this whole thing, you can't vote for him because if you do, then you're not going to be able to, do that to your body. It's your body. It's your choice. That's what Kamala says. It's your body, your choice. But you weren't saying that when pharmaceutical companies, $722 billion, 7 or 9 pharmaceutical companies made $722 billion during that short stint, right? Of our money, of your money, taxpayer money. And they said to the military, well, if you don't get it, you're going to have to, retire, leave, get kicked out, whatever the case is, right? If that's not forcing you, if you're a medical worker, you couldn't go back into the hospital unless you got that thing in your arm. Well, if you fire me, that's not cause to fire me because I have a religious exemption. Well, the government backs it because why did all the hospitals and the medical fields, why were they basically saying put it in your arm or else you're not going to have a job? Because if they didn't, they wouldn't receive federal dollars. People don't know that. People just don't look at the obvious, right? So if you're all about this, your body, your choice thing, then why would you even vote for that wicked broad? And why would you even vote for her? Because she did the exact same thing. And Biden did the exact same thing. They said, this is your body, but it's our choice that you're going to go to work or you're not going to go to work. That's our choice because we're backing it. Why are people not talking about this? I do not get it. Why people are not saying, oh, well, okay, well, Trump he did say that. He does support that. He does believe in that. And he eventually will probably make it a law or not. I mean, he's already been a president. If he was going to make it mandatory around the United States, he would have already done it during his administration. But he left it up to the states, okay, which, whatever, right? I mean, I'm not a woman, so I don't know what it's like, right? But say, for instance, they banned fucking Ho-Hos and Skittles and candy and donuts. If they outlawed that and said, well, it's up to the state if they want to ship that stuff in, I would leave the state because my fat ass loves donuts and Ho-Hos and ding-dongs, right? So if they're going to just ban the shipping or the selling or the owning of ding-dongs and Ho-Hos, like I love Ho-Ho cake. If you guys have never had a Ho-Ho cake, my wife makes an incredible Ho-Ho cake. Anyways, that aside. But if that were the case, they said, Kurt, you cannot have a Ho-Ho cake while you live in Wisconsin. I really don't want to go to Illinois, but shit, either one, I'm getting a black market. Is that even a thing? Like, I'm getting a Ho-Ho cake on the black market, or I'm moving to Minnesota or some other state, right? So I know that's a silly comparison or analogy, but I'm just saying if you're that adamant and you hold that kind of stance on it, then leave the state. When that whole thing, when they were forcing people, and yes, they were forcing people to put that thing in your arm and wear that thing over your face, there were states that were saying, we're not going to enforce this. So if you move here, we're not enforcing that. Well, that's exactly the same way. And people that did get that thing in their body and still wear that thing over your mouth that doesn't work, they're still harping over this thing for the people that didn't get it. Well, you're putting up us at risk, and you're doing this and you're doing that, so on and so on and so on. But you know what I'm saying? So it's this constant division, constant controversy. And like I said, if you think about it, this current administration has done nothing for the people, and it has done exactly what they're against, which is my body, my choice, right? Because they enforced it. They backed it. They encouraged it. They funded it. And people that got it, or whatever the case is, and us people that didn't get it, my wife is being referred to as Typhoid Mary or some shit like that behind her back because she wouldn't get it, right? So if you're going to say stuff like that, and you're going to say, well, you're putting me at, I'm not putting you at risk. How the fuck am I putting you at risk if you live a state away and I don't get the thing in my arm and I don't want to wear the thing over my face? How am I putting you at risk? Look at the stats. I'm not dead, and I'm an overweight male, you know what I'm saying, that, isn't in the best health, I guess. I mean, I'm fine. My blood pressure, all that stuff's good. The point being is, except for now, my blood pressure's up because it irritates me, and it rages me to the point where if you're gonna smack down on him about, well, he wants to, make it illegal to get rid of that baby or whatever the case is. And we're all about my body, my choice. Are you about my body, my choice? Because you're not. So stop with the lies, man. It's complete lies. And I don't know. I walked through here and I was like, you know what? I could, and shame on me, because you don't judge a book by its cover, but I could see people, in the booth, filling out the ovals, and I was walking down, I'm like, liberal, Republican, Trump supporter, and shame on me for doing that, because I could be completely wrong. But I just found myself, and I started getting I'm seeing these poll numbers where they're neck and neck, and Trump's edging up a little bit. Trust me, guys, Trump is not. You got to vote. You have to vote, but Trump's not going to get reelected. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I am 100% wrong, and I can do a video saying, thank God I was wrong. Thank God I was wrong. But I just don't see it's going to happen, unfortunately. So anyways, I'm done being a negative Nancy. But it really irritated me on this my body, my choice thing. So anyways, people might unsubscribe from my channel because of this. And Godspeed. I mean, I still am who I am. So anyways, please like and subscribe to the channel. Ciao.